at this time you're going to be placed under arrest
Why?
for DV, for domestic violence. Okay? So before I talk to you more about it, I need you to turn around and place your hands behind your back.
So is he not at all?
Not tonight, no.
I'm confused. So he pushed me and I'm under arrest? Why?
I can talk to you more about
Okay,
it.
that's fine, but I'm just curious why. Okay.
What's up and welcome back to Fame Thunder. There's a whole storm of drama blowing up around Taylor Frankie Paul from the secret lives of Mormon wives, and it's messy in a way that's hard to ignore. This situation is seriously shocking, and there's a lot to break down because the details keep getting more intense the deeper you look into it. If you've never heard of the secret lives of Mormon wives, then you're probably not tapped into reality TV like that, because this show has been pulling attention for all the drama it keeps serving. This show is easily one of the biggest reality TV hits right now, maybe the biggest, and people cannot stop watching the chaos unfold. It follows a group of women who first blew up on TikTok as part of a creator circle called Mom Talk, where they were posting dance videos and lifestyle content, but behind all that, there was already tension building. Things really went left when Taylor Frankie Paul jumped on live and started spilling everything, and when it came out, it shocked a lot of people. She revealed that she and some of the other women in the group were involved in a private swinging arrangement, and that alone had people talking like crazy. Then it got even messier when she admitted she crossed a line in her marriage with someone connected to that circle, and that's when everything really started to spiral. Now, within those kinds of arrangements, there are usually boundaries everyone agrees on, and in this situation, everything was supposed to stay within certain limits with full awareness from everyone involved. But when those lines got blurred, it created serious tension and fallout that quickly turned into public drama. Social media ran with it, and suddenly people who had never even heard of Mom Talk were locked in, watching everything unfold in real time. Since then, Taylor has become the most talked about figure from the group, and because of her visibility, many people see her as the central face and unofficial leader of Mom Talk on the secret lives of Mormon wives. But somehow, drama keeps finding its way back to her every single time. She's constantly wrapped up in situations that go way beyond simple arguments. They turn into full-blown chaos that people can't stop talking about. Now, this situation with Dakota, who is also the father of her child, is on a completely different level. They've had issues before, but calling it just drama doesn't even cover how serious things actually got. It was intense and honestly hard to watch unfold. There's even body camera footage from the incident, and it's not easy to sit through because of how heavy everything feels. This all happened back in 2023 when a neighbor reportedly heard yelling and loud crashing sounds coming from inside the home and got worried enough to call the police. When officers arrived, Taylor was clearly overwhelmed and in distress, struggling to speak and trying to catch her breath during what looked like a full panic attack. She claimed that Dakota pushed her during the situation, while Dakota told a completely different story. He said she was jumping on his truck and caused damage to it, and from his side, things got out of control fast. What started as an argument turned into a serious domestic incident. That ultimately led to Taylor being arrested, and that's where things got even more complicated. People have been questioning the outcome too, asking why Dakota wasn't also arrested if both sides were making claims against each other. Taylor said he shoved her, while Dakota insisted it was self-defense, saying he was trying to get space and move her away during the chaos. The two versions don't match, and that's exactly why this situation sparked so much debate online. But the part that really hit people the hardest was what happened around her child during all of this. Reports from the scene say her daughter was nearby while everything was unfolding, and in the middle of the chaos, objects were being thrown, and one of them ended up hitting her, which made the situation even more serious and upsetting to hear about. In one of the body cam moments, an officer can even be heard saying there was a child inside who had gotten sick during everything, which just adds another layer to how intense and distressing the entire situation was. That part is honestly heartbreaking to hear about. Either that little girl wasn't feeling well and should have been resting peacefully, or she got sick because of how overwhelming and scary the situation became in that moment. Either way, it points to how intense everything was inside that house, and it's hard not to feel for her being caught in the middle of all that chaos. Now, Taylor has shown some troubling behavior over time, and that's something people have been pointing out for a while. Still, she's managed to build a huge following, with fans who support her because they see her as honest and unfiltered in a space where a lot of people come off polished and fake. That raw energy is exactly what draws people in, even when things around her seem messy. At the same time, there's a bigger conversation here that people keep coming back to. While past experiences and personal struggles can shape someone, there's also responsibility that comes with being a parent, especially when children are present during situations that escalate this far. That's where a lot of the public reaction starts to shift, because people expect a certain level of care and stability in those moments. Even after everything that happened, she still has custody of her children and has continued to stay in the spotlight, remaining a central figure in mom talk and the secret lives of Mormon wives, which keeps people watching and talking even more. And now things are getting even more wild, because there's a new season of The Bachelorette about to air, and Taylor Frankie Paul is stepping in as the lead, which already has people talking nonstop. But here's where it takes a sharp turn. Right before she left to film, she and Dakota were reportedly still involved with each other, and that has a lot of people raising serious questions. Because let's be real for a second, going on a show like The Bachelorette is supposed to mean you're ready to move forward and actually open yourself up to new connections. But if you're still tied to someone from your past, especially in a situation that complicated, it makes everything feel off. That's why some viewers are already side-eyeing this whole season and questioning how genuine it's really going to be. What's making it even messier is how everything connects back to what's currently unfolding. With the reports and incidents involving Dakota, people feel like it's giving away where things end up, and it's changing how they see the entire storyline before it even fully plays out. And now, with the new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives bringing more attention to everything, public opinion is starting to shift in a big way. Some of the same people who once defended Taylor are now rethinking everything, looking at the situation from a different angle and saying, "Taylor girl, you might actually be the problem," which is adding even more tension to an already explosive situation. No. The way I see it, this isn't just one-sided at all. They both play a role in how toxic this situation has become, and it's gotten way past normal relationship issues. At this point, it feels unhealthy on both sides. And honestly, it seems like they both need real support to figure things out, because this cycle just keeps getting worse. Watching the constant back and forth between them is exhausting. And it's not just about them anymore. When children are part of the picture, priorities should shift. And a lot of people feel like that's not happening the way it should. The dynamic between them comes off intense and complicated, and it's clear there's a deeper attachment there. But it's also creating a situation that feels unstable. Now here's where things get even more confusing. The night before Taylor was supposed to leave for The Bachelorette, Dakota reportedly came over and stayed the night, which already had people questioning everything. Then, the next morning, he's seen leaving looking completely fine, smiling like nothing's wrong, and that raised even more eyebrows. But it doesn't stop there. When it's finally time for Taylor to leave for what should be a huge moment in her life, with family and friends showing up to support her, she refuses to get up and says she's sick, completely throwing off what was supposed to be the start of this big opportunity. That whole situation comes off really strange, and it's hard not to question it. Dakota was there the night before. Everything seemed fine, and then the next morning, he leaves smiling like nothing is wrong, while she's suddenly too sick to even get out of bed. The timing just doesn't sit right with a lot of people, and it naturally raises eyebrows. Now, to be clear, these are just opinions and observations based on what's being seen. There's no claim here that anything specific happened, but a lot of viewers have started to question if there's more going on behind the scenes than what's being shown. People online have been speculating about whether there could be deeper issues affecting both of them, especially with how unpredictable their dynamic has been. Because when you look at the pattern, it feels confusing. One moment things seem calm, the next it flips into chaos. And then suddenly, there's an unexpected situation like this where she's unable to move forward with something big. That kind of shift is what has people talking and trying to connect the dots, even if nothing has been confirmed. And then there's another part that stands out. If she was truly that unwell, it raises the question of why she was left alone with her 3 children in that condition. That detail doesn't sit right with a lot of people either, especially considering how serious everything already seemed. The whole situation just feels off. And while none of this proves anything, it definitely explains why. So many people are questioning what might really be happening behind closed doors. You could look at it from another angle and say maybe anxiety played a role in why she didn't want to leave for The Bachelorette, and that would make sense to some people. But she has said herself that it wasn't anxiety, that she was genuinely sick and not feeling well. And that's where a lot of doubt starts creeping in for viewers. Because when you line everything up, it just feels off. This is someone she's been emotional about the entire season, and then right before she's supposed to leave, he stays over, leaves the next morning smiling, and suddenly she doesn't want to go meet new people? That timing has people seriously questioning what's really going on behind the scenes, especially considering how intense everything has already been. It creates this bigger picture that doesn't fully add up, and that's why so many people are side-eyeing the situation. The behavior, the timing, and everything surrounding it just feels layered, like there's more happening that isn't being openly addressed. Now, moving forward, there are some Bachelorette spoilers that have been circulating, and they're getting a lot of attention. These are still rumors, so take them for what they are, but they've been shared by sources that people tend to trust. So if you don't want to hear anything about possible outcomes, this is your moment to step away. But for those still here, the talk going around is that she does end up choosing someone by the end of the show, which adds another twist to everything already unfolding. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but there are rumors going around that not long after filming, about a month in, she ends up reconnecting with Dakota, and whoever she chose on the show is no longer in the picture. And honestly, a lot of people are starting to believe that could be true based on what's been happening recently. Because this past February, there was reportedly another 911 call involving Taylor and Dakota, and it brought even more serious concerns to the surface. According to what's being said, there was another intense situation between them that escalated in a way that has people concerned about the pattern forming here. One of the claims circulating is that she allegedly used a necklace during the altercation, and that this all happened while their child was present, which makes the situation feel even heavier and more upsetting to hear about. It's gotten so serious that there are even reports suggesting some of the other cast members from the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are refusing to film, which shows just how intense and uncomfortable everything surrounding this situation has become. Right now, things are getting even more complicated because sources connected to Taylor have come forward saying that Dakota was also being physically aggressive toward her. So now you've got two completely different versions of events, both pointing fingers, and it leaves people wondering what the full truth really looks like. And honestly, it raises a bigger question. Can both sides be contributing to the situation at the same time? Because that's what some people are starting to believe. Then there's another detail that has people completely shocked. A screenshot has been circulating that allegedly shows Taylor calling Dakota over and over again in the middle of the night, multiple times back to back. And that alone has people talking, because at that point, it starts to feel excessive. Calling someone that many times in a row has people questioning what was really going on in that moment and why things were escalating to that level. It's the kind of behavior that makes the whole situation feel even more intense and harder to understand from the outside looking in. And this is exactly why so many people close to her have been concerned all along. There's been a pattern of this relationship affecting major parts of her life, and now it's starting to spill into opportunities that could have been life-changing. From potentially impacting her experience on The Bachelorette to now being tied to more serious incidents, everything is stacking up in a way that's becoming impossible to ignore. There are now investigations happening behind the scenes connected to all of this, and the situation has reached a point where there are real concerns about what could happen next. Some people are even saying that her custody situation could be affected if things don't stabilize, which makes this feel even more serious. Of course, nobody wants to see a family torn apart, but at the same time, the priority has to be a safe and stable environment for the children involved. That's the part people keep coming back to, because everything happening right now feels unpredictable and intense. What's also clear is that Taylor and Dakota keep finding their way back to each other, no matter how messy things get. They've both openly talked about how hard it is for them to separate, and that cycle is exactly why so many people believe there's something deeper going on behind the scenes. And viewers are reaching their limit. Fans of the show are starting to speak out, saying they're tired of watching the same pattern repeat over and over again. Some are even saying they don't want to support the show anymore if this situation keeps continuing without change, because it's starting to feel overwhelming just to watch it play out. At a certain point, this kind of dynamic doesn't just affect the people involved. It starts to weigh on everyone watching too, and that's exactly where things seem to be heading now. At some point, it starts to wear people down watching the same cycle repeat over and over again. Viewers are sitting there like, here we go again. And it stops feeling like entertainment and starts feeling exhausting because of how serious everything has become. And now it's not just talk, it's actually impacting her real life in a major way. Taylor is reportedly losing sponsorships, and that kind of fallout can stick with you long term, depending on how everything plays out. This isn't just online drama anymore. It's affecting her career and opportunities in real time. There's though even been an article circulating saying that a brand has cut ties with a bachelorette amid all the controversy, which just shows how quickly things can shift when situations like this escalate. Taylor also spoke out around March 17th, opening up about how all of this has been affecting her, saying, "Honestly, just like my heart hurts to see it, to go through it, especially at this time, just the timing is hard and it's a big deal. I feel like every premiere that I've experienced, I've never enjoyed fully. So this is another one. It's extremely hard, and it took everything to get me here today. It's just a heavy, heavy time, and it's unfortunate. I'm struggling for sure, but also at the same time, I feel like if I don't show up, then I'm just giving these opportunities away and not enjoying what we've worked on and something super exciting that's coming." That statement alone shows just how much pressure and weight is sitting on her right now, and it makes the entire situation feel even more intense as everything continues unfolding in real time. I do understand why she felt like she had to show up, even with everything weighing on her, because walking away from something that big isn't easy at all. But at the same time, the situation around her hasn't slowed down, and it's continuing to impact everything in real time. Even with the loss of sponsorships and all the backlash, the Bachelorette season is still moving forward, and let's be honest, the drama is probably going to pull in even more viewers. People are curious, people are talking, and when something like this blows up, it only brings more attention to the show. In a strange way, all of this controversy is turning into major buzz, and the network is definitely benefiting from that spotlight. But underneath all of that, there's still a really serious side that can't be ignored. The fact that children are involved in such a chaotic situation makes everything hit a lot harder because those experiences don't just disappear, they stick. And that's what makes this whole thing feel so heavy. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about everything going on here? Do you feel like this situation has gone too far? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can join the conversation. I'll catch you in the next one.